It's recording.
No,
It says recording.
But we were just joking. Can't we just joke around? It's a comedy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Be blinking.
If you smoked weed, you can cure that eye blink twitch.
Really?
Yeah, cures everything.
Didn't you just watch Murder Mountain? Yeah, that's her. That's basically one story of a bunch of people that most of Humboldt County laughs at. That's what because we know friends that know that thing, but they had to make it dramatic. So yeah, this is where we have you guys tell us your life story in roughly about 200 words, uninterrupted, where we practice listening. So I guess Gabby, we'll start with you. What's your life story up until this point?
Yeah, sure. Well, born and raised in San Francisco, traveled around a lot, alcoholic, drug addict. I started comedy by working in the comedy club as a waitress, and it completely shaped my life since then. And, bacon lover all around. So thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
So,
DNA.
I had questions, but I'll ask later.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay.
DNA.
Well, yeah, we'll follow
Wait,
up.
what?
DNA, what's your life story up until this point?
I was raised Orthodox Jew, and then I discovered drugs were better than religion, and then I moved to California, and I didn't understand what comedy was. I wanted to do it, but I thought it was like the circus. I thought you had to run away, kind of. I didn't know how to get into it, so I got into it pretty late, actually, like in my 40s, and just opened a comedy club last year. Hey, just closed the comedy club. What? And we just finished moving out yesterday. Was the last day we were there at the comedy club. And now I'm on the road. I'm up at the in-laws house in Chico making a weed delivery.
Gotta make
Back to basics, baby.
It's always good to have something to fall back on.
Yes, thank you.
Good. That's
I
good.
did not know that.
So what were your follow-up questions?
The entire community's lost. That is a shame. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you had a follow-up question for Gabby there, Eerie.
My follow-up question was, so you started in so you really weren't interested in comedy before you started working at the comedy club, or?
Oh, well, I loved comedy, and I was like, I need to be around this, and I'm going to use my waitress skills to get in this world just because I wanted to be around it. And then, yeah, after 4 years, I started doing comedy.
Wow. And you loved it
right away? It was completely
yeah.
You worked at Cobb's?
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
I met Gabby when she started doing comedy. I think I might have known you worked at Cobb's, but I don't remember. I don't remember that.
I think you came in with like CJ and stuff.
Yeah. No, I know. That's how I met you through Christopher John, the comic. I think some people here know who he is from. I think my parents definitely do.
I love that.
So the next question, our next little segment that's one of our regular segments here is basically kind of a mental health check-in, and that is, how are you holding up? It's basically our we know it's been a rough year in 2020. We're starting off 2021. Hopefully, I feel like 2020 prepared us for the beginning of 2021 already. But yeah, so we kind of do our mental health check-in. Let's start with my co-host to see how she's doing this week. How are you holding up there, Eerie?
Pass.
Well, that bad, huh? Wow.
I'm having a week where everything irritates the fuck out of me. That's why this podcast is a very dangerous place for me to be right now. I don't know. I'm having one of those like end of my rope weeks. You guys ever have any of those? Or you're just like,
Sure.
Give me another project to do at work. Fuck this place. Like that's kind of like in my head right now. And I'm just like, which is so stupid, right? But I'm just like, ask me a stupid question. Who the fuck did you think you are? Like, it's just, yeah. I'm just having that kind of week. I don't know what's going on, if it's something in the air or what, but
yeah, it happens. Yeah.
That's me. Usually I'm pretty like, I'm okay, but no. This week I'm like, Yay, I'm so happy. I love this song. What the fuck did you say to me? Like, I don't know what's happening to me right now.
The Chola you once were is coming out.
Is that what it is? Is
Could
that what
be.
it is? Well,
She Eerie was raised Mexican until she found out she wasn't Mexican.
it's true.
In her late
It's
teens.
true. That's 100% true. And I did wear the makeup, the Chola makeup, but it was called being a goth. So same makeup, different clothes. So
My
anyway.
stepdad's making jokes. I can already see him laughing. I don't know what the hell. I'm not paying attention to the chat here. So yeah, let's do our check-in. DNA, how are you holding up thus far? I mean, you've been through a lot.
Yeah, I do therapy every Thursday, and for the last 3 years, ever since that wrestler threatened my life. It's been good. It's been good to have someone to talk to. I just hope everybody has someone to talk to. Eerie, I don't know what you got, but it really helps to have like a friend, and someone who's not your relative or whatever, to be there. And I kind of ask her, I talk to her and be like, how's it going with everybody else? And she's just like, everyone's peaking, everyone's got fatigue, everyone's snapping. It probably doesn't help Eerie to know everyone's going through it, but I
that's
try
good.
to do.
We can make a gang or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we'll storm the Capitol. Sorry.
No, we'll just stay in our houses. I don't want to.
Aim lower. Just storm a Taco Bell.
There you go.
Something doable.
There you go.
So I don't know. It's tough. It's rough. Day by day, I think every day is a different answer. Today, my answer is I'm kind of exhausted, but I feel because we closed the business finally yesterday. It's been dragging on for 10 months. I feel like I got a weight off my shoulders. Like I could look forward a little bit more now. So it's good. I'm all right.
That's yeah. We're gonna get into probably that a little more. Gabby, how are you holding up?
I am holding up okay. Can I be very honest?
Please
I don't
do.
want to drag down everything.
Please do.
So my grandmother, one of my favorite people in my life, passed away on the 1st.
Oh, no.
So it's the 2021 has been very much like a year of mourning so far, but it's made me like kind of step up my responsibility and my accountability to my family, which has been a bit of a blessing or just a new experience. And so I'm kind of dealing with everything by being accountable to others, because I know that, the older people in the family, yada, 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 like there's some it's like real shit. It's like serious shit. And it's not like I really have to be present, and I struggle with being present. So it's been a totally different experience for me, and I kind of feel hopeful. I feel hopeful.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys, it makes my wow. Maybe I shouldn't have been so upset earlier. You guys have some real
not at all.
shit going on.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
like,
how recovery works. It's people helping people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I have to say too, like going back to like the recovery roots of like being of service, like that has been helping me so much lately, because I could just be in my own misery or be in my own like sadness, but it's really like showing up for other people that's helped me lately.
I just got a new sponsee, and and it totally has been helping me. His life's all fucked up.
Nice.
So I love hearing. Yeah, no, it totally helps. It's like, any my problems ain't nothing compared to this dude's problems. Shit, man.
Yeah, totally.
But no, and also my condolences. I remember talking to you before. I think I was texting with you, and you were saying you were going to Pacifica. So my condolences.
Yeah,
My last remaining grandparent also passed.
I saw that.
Yeah, so yeah, and she. I love my stepdad. Just gave a like a peace out. Right there. What the fuck was that? But yeah, no. And so it was in kind of what you were saying. I was. Both of my trips this past year to Ukiah, staying with them. First, my last remaining grandfather passed in September, and then I came this last time in December, and then my grandmother passed. So I don't think I have any other relatives that are on the chopping block the next time I go to Ukiah. Yeah. So hoping for but it was good to be
You're next.
I'm not complaining. No, it's good to be of service, to my folks in that regard. So be there with them and all that. So plus they needed help moving the stuff too. On my last day there. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Our next segment here, this is our segment catered to you guys, and I think it's a good chance to. I think this is a good segment based on what I'm hearing. It is called Let It Go. Let's hear your biggest vent of 2020, of your 2020, because I know basically
we picked the same background.
I know, isn't that nice? Like,
That's
sometimes
funny.
we're linked.
I don't link to you.
And so I guess so what so let's start. Let's go ahead. We're talking with you, Gabby. What let's hear your biggest vent. Your venting of 2020.
My biggest motherfucking vent, because I honestly have a lot of things I'm really grateful in 2020. This is what annoys me the most. Just people passing you on a hike, just being like, there's so much tisking and so much shaming that's going on. But I'm like, I am in the wilderness. Why do you want me to? Look, I wear my goddamn mask. I see the way you're looking at me at home. Fuck you, I wear my mask, but when I'm on a hike, when I'm running, just let me fucking be. Let me breathe some goddamn free air, but everybody wants to tisk. You're halfway down this block. Everyone wants to tisk. Everyone wants to fucking put some goddamn judgment on you because now they have leeway to control you. Now the government is on their side and they can shame you, and I fucking hate it. And I wear my mask goddamn 98% of the time. Let me have my 2%. That's not a popular perspective. I understand. Okay, I understand. Fine.
You get that off your chest, girl. I hear you.
Thank you.
I hear you.
We went walking through. We went to Navarro Beach. My family and I, and I've got photos. I've been posting them on Instagram, and we are shining examples of what you can shame us all to hell. The cool thing about there, we're wearing our masks when we're around other people and where we need to be, but when we're out in the open, it's nude face city out there. So
yeah, but you still get a little bit of this.
Not in Ukiah. No, they'll look at you weirder. They look at you weirder. It's like the South in Ukiah. They look at you weirder for wearing one.
A porthole to the South, huh?
Yeah. So DNA.
Yeah.
What's your biggest event of 2020 you need to let go?
Unleash your rant, man.
Okay. First of all, is that your mom?
That is definitely my mom. Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
We met one time at a show, Dave. I don't know what show that was.
Newark. It was at Love at First Slice. You were here.
Right. That's when I first realized that the Mean Dave was a persona. I thought it was real up until that show. And you were so nice at that show. I was like, who's this guy?
I was nice before that.
Rant of, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Oh God, it's like, I mean, to me, the biggest one is just that back in February of last year, the administration of POTUS knew all about COVID. They knew everything. They knew that they knew it was an epidemic, and he decided to play it down and just worry about his narcissistic self and family and making billions of dollars. And it's pretty evident that he could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives. And he's like the biggest serial killer. It's like almost genocide. When he would say things like, oh, we're not going to give the blue states the vaccine, like, dude, this guy, I mean, to me, I know so many people that have died of COVID or secondary COVID things. This past week, I'm cleaning out the lab in one hand. The other hand, I'm watching a funeral for a friend on Zoom because you can't even go to funerals anymore. And so much of it could have been, so much of it, it's heartburning.
Yeah.
Is that a rant? I don't know. It seems like I'm just
good. No, it's definitely not. That's exactly what we need, to kind of unburden ourselves of some of the things that,
sharing, DNA.
Yeah. Like I said, our show is much more of a support group as well, a humorous support group.
Wow. I'll try to be funnier.
No. Don't try to be funny.
That stuff I tell Eerie. So that's why it's mainly just be yourselves.
Be yourself. you're not funny, just don't be funny. And
You
then
need to revise it, Gabby, you said?
Yeah. Can I say fascism? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't like it.
hey, I don't like. By the way, I don't like serial killers.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Dave, you got any? You want to? I don't know how much time we have. Hold on.
Yeah,
We
plenty of
got
time. We're
40
doing good.
minutes.
We're doing great. I'm not
No,
gonna
you want, but I know, but you rant long time.
Depends on what I'm ranting about, and usually I get my big rants out before this show on the Suzette Vanetti show. So I feel like I took a good dump of a mental. My biggest this week actually was fun. A lot of my problems these days are very manageable, and again, that's one of those things. Because like last week, I got back from my folks. I went to an in-person meeting at AA. The very next day, found out that one of the girls who was at that meeting, was testing for COVID at that time, found out she had COVID on Sunday. And so she was barely there. I didn't cross paths with her, close. She had a mask on the entire time. But at the same time, I'm like, I just thought that was really inconsiderate and stupid considering she was already getting tested and was feeling symptoms. So I just spent the week staying home and, I have no symptoms or nothing, but like I was going to be meeting up with friends and stuff. And I was like, hey, let's just push this to next week. So, cause I just don't feel comfortable right away mixing with people after just knowing that happened, and all that shit. But at the same time, my biggest problem is the fact that I'm still craving better Marvel content after the first 2 episodes of WandaVision were released, because I knew it was going to be what it was. It's just that's what they're kicking off this phase 4 with, and that was supposed to be released, the 3rd release of last year. So this is just kind of like everybody was looking forward to WandaVision, not me. I watched the first 2 episodes. It was exactly what I thought I was going to get, and I'm not, they're good for what they are. It's just not what you want to kick off phase 4 with, and that's not a problem. Yeah, thank you, SB. I got some support here. See, that's all it is. And that's not a problem. When I see what other people are going through and all that stuff, that's why I'm like, you don't hear me bitching about things as much right now. This is a time of misery, and this is my time. So,
Can I say?
Please do.
I started watching Game of Thrones again because I was like, I need to see somebody's day going really bad. So in retrospect, I can feel good about what's going on in my life.
That's a good.
Nobody I know's head is on a spike. It was a good day.
That's true. Nobody got poisoned at my wedding, so I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Eerie, do you have a venting? Do you have another one? Of 2020, I'm saying. I know you had this week's, that we kind of.
My venting is let me tell you. You know what? I do have something. This is my vent. Because I am a total news and political junkie. Like I watch it. I love to watch it. I love to know exactly what the fuck is going on. I will watch the far left and then the far right news just for fun, just to see how they're comparing and seeing what they're both saying about each other. And but then here's the thing that's funny. When I tell people that, they say things like, yeah, I don't really care about the news. And I'm like, that is so fucking stupid. You don't care about the news. You don't want to know what's going on, at least like the minimum of what's going on. Yeah, I don't watch anything. I don't watch the news. It bums me out. I'm like, yeah, so there could be a zombie apocalypse and you have no fucking idea at all. Like you have no idea. You could be eating a sandwich and they're like, sandwiches kill you. Like you have no fucking idea what's going on. I just think it's just to be ill-informed just really pisses me off. And also people looking sideways at me if I don't have a mask when I run out to my car to get something. Come on, get over it, guys. I just walked out here. I'm coming right back. I'm in my driveway, bitches. Okay, I'm done. That's the only time I don't wear a mask, by the way. I always wear a mask. But if I'm on my own property and no one else is here, I think I could walk out to the mailbox, bitches, without my fucking mask on. Okay.
I wear them all the time everywhere I go just to see who's bothered by that. So
I went to put my new registration in my car in the glove box because I kept forgetting to do it. And this woman was across the street walking and just went, mask. I went, I'm in my driveway, bitch. What are you talking about? Okay. Done.
You're on that Berkeley border.
Hell
That's
yeah.
why.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm done. Okay, I'm done. That was fun. Do I get a clap?
Good rant. I hope we got a little of
Supporting
that
each
out of
other.
it. All right, our next segment is kind of like as Gabby was pointing out, hope. You know, we're talking, we're dabbling a little in hope here. So let's look to the hopeful future. Let me find this fucking background that I have that I specifically got for this. Oh, here we go. All right, and that is, do you have any 2021 goals?
Have any hope?
If you have any goals, what are they? What might they be? So, any goals, anybody?
I'm gonna go see a chiropractor.
Sounds nice.
Things have gotten really bland around the Poccia household. It's all watering plants and seeing a chiropractor now. It's used to be a lot more exciting, but
Back maintenance is important.
back maintenance is important. When you sit in bed looking at Instagram for 10 hours a day, you really gotta care about your shoulders a lot
Is
more.
the unsung soldier of the skeletal
Yeah.
system.
Remember when like the worst rant was like how everybody was annoyed that people were playing Pokemon Go? Remember what that, like when that was like the thing that we were the most fucking annoyed about, people walking around going, gotcha. And like now we're just like, yeah, it's a pandemic for a year and people are out. I mean, it's
People started playing that again. People started playing Pokemon Go again recently. Like
really?
Yeah, there was a surge in
Like if the cops give you any trouble, you're like, bro, I'm playing Pokemon Go. It's legal.
Somebody got like hit by a car or something. Like it's like that was the biggest. Oh, and vaping. Remember vaping? Remember when vaping was like the worst thing going on at the time? My mom called me and goes, "You don't vape, do you?" I'm like, I'm 50 years old, bitch. I'll vape if I didn't say that, but you know what I mean. It was like that was what was in my head. I'm like, no, but what are you doing?
That's when you say it's, how can I vape when I'm too busy having all this unprotected sex?
Yeah, oh, dude, that's what I should have said.
Yeah, gotta think of
when I can drag myself away from the glory hole. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
I can't stop sucking.
You know what? I like you a lot. I like
you a lot.
I like that. All right, DNA.
Face tattoo, is that a goal?
Right?
Anybody can get a face tattoo in 2021. Turns out.
Can I get a teardrop if I don't actually kill anybody in prison?
Yeah. What if I just don't wear my mask? Can I get a fucking teardrop then? I know I'm affecting someone somewhere. According to all these Karens.
That felt really good.
You got a clap. You got DNA to give you a clap. Now look at that. You got the clap thing.
That's it. DNA, you got any goals, man?
Yeah, I got goals. I got goals, baby. I'm gonna. I started Rosetta Stone French like years ago, and then I stopped. And I've always wanted to go back to it. So one of my goals is to go back into Rosetta Stone French. Like I took Spanish in high school. I took Spanish 1. I failed it. I took Spanish 1. I failed it. Mercy put me in Spanish 2. I failed it. And then I think there was a summer school Spanish I failed because I needed it anyway. But like French is like, I think French is my language because it's kind of like, you're kind of like, I'm not. I think that's who I am.
Yeah.
I think I have like an inner French guy in me.
I think you would know. I've had one.
Your goal is to learn French? Is that right?
Yeah, well, that's, I want to do that. I want to, I'm going to play. I'm trying to look forward and do these drive-in comedy shows every Saturday night starting the end of February, and then do multiple locations. So have it maybe Saturday and Sunday, end of February, every weekend through 2021. I'm trying to pull that out of my hat. Is that a goal? Yeah, that's a goal. So I'm trying to do that. And then I got like emptying my business into our house, our rental. I have so much stuff from like, I'm old, like I'm a time lord. I have stuff from like 40, 50 years ago. So I want to either, I don't forget that lady's name on Netflix, but I either want to like sell it, trash it, or give it away and just go through the archives get, I feel like I have too much stuff. It's really weighing me down. I just want to kind of lighten my
Lighten
vibe.
the load. Yeah.
I didn't want to say load.
I wanted to say that.
You already said you had a French guy.
He really wants to bust his loads off until there's nary a load to bust.
Yeah.
You know what, DNA? That was great. That was like a comprehensive list of really good fucking things. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. You know, when I was 3, I used to think I could speak French if you just spoke with a French accent. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I used to watch Pepe Le Pew, and I was like, ho, ho, ho. And my mom was like, you're not actually speaking French. And I'm like, no, mama, I am speaking the French. And
she didn't speak French. She didn't know.
I didn't know.
She was gaslighting you the whole time.
Thank you. Hello. Among the many things she was gaslighting me about. That was a great DNA. That was like a great, you're like, I don't know. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And that was really cool. And I hope you get those shows on the books. That's a great, I love that.
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you to Deneen for, I'm so sorry. Deneen, thank you for contributing. We really appreciate it. What?
Yeah, typing it now.
Yep.
In the chat here.
Gabby.
Tonight, yeah.
Get Gabby on here.
Let's see. No, Gabby said her goals. Back maintenance.
Back
maintenance.
What's your goals there?
Maybe more.
What's your goals there, Eerie?
I don't have any. I don't, because you don't want to see. I mean, it's not like I'm going to paint the hallway. Like, that's stupid goals. Those aren't real goals. I just want to just try and stay the right amount of positive, so that when this is all over, I can actually come through it and not be
negative.
And actually get to a point where I can wear all the new clothes I bought in lockdown, because I'm obsessed, because that's what you do. You buy things. And so anyway, Jason, thank you so much for contributing too. We really appreciate it. Thank you. What's your goals, Dave? What you got?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I haven't had goals in about a good 4 years after moving back out of my parents' house. The goal is really just to maintain staying out of there, which is a lot easier with them living in Ukiah. Stay clean and sober, which I do on a daily basis. That's a goal of mine every day. And then beyond that, just try to, make rent. Those are the goals. Beyond that, not really planning too much in this pandemic, because that's kind of how, I think I seem to operate best, not having any expectations or any, whatever, trying to be of service to people, as we were talking earlier, because I do have now I have one sponsee who's a real newcomer in my recovery group. Actually, he lives in Detroit, so we communicate via Zoom. He's the first person who's asked me to be a sponsor in years, and because all of my sponsees have disappeared, relapsed, and one died. And as a good friend of mine, there's a good friend of mine, Sean Sinha, who DNA knows. He asked if I had
little cousin.
Yeah,
you're my little cousin, Sean.
He asked if I had sponsees, and I told him that. I told him that very thing, and he goes, "Jesus, man, try not to sponsor anybody else." And I always laugh at that. But it's one of those things. It's not a discouraging thing. It's just the reality of, kind of recovery and the odds and all that stuff. Last year was a pretty strange year, because I had to leave my previous sponsor, and didn't have one in mind, because it's hard to find people whose recovery I look up to. And then I got a sponsor. It's this guy that I've been friends with, but mainly through recovery. And he has less time than me, but I admire what he does. It's kind of hard to explain. And then now also I sponsor him, because again, we're in this pandemic. It's hard to find good sponsors. So we're like this sponsee 69. That's what I was
gonna say.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. Because basically he's gone through the steps in AA. I know them from this NA workbook. And so, and I think the NA workbook applies to everything. So I'm taking him through the workbook, and he's taking me through the AA way. And
he's like, start at step 12.
huh?
He's like starting at step 12 and you're starting at step 1 and you'll meet in the middle. And
Yeah, that would. I don't.
Well, it's like the Benjamin Button of. Never mind.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, recovery Benjamin Button. I like that.
Yeah.
But no, so it's just kind of a strange thing. We came to that conclusion through talking and stuff. This isn't like something. I was keeping my eyes open. There were a lot of people I had kind of candidates for doing it, and then I don't know. It's not like I have a high bar either. I think it's really tough to find people who. My sponsor was a really good sponsor I had for 6 years, and but it was just time to switch it up. So,
Dave, in what you just said, you said my sponsorees, it seems to all go bad, but I'm going to keep doing it till I get one that's I can be successful with.
One of them.
I don't have a high bar for my own sponsor. It's just really, it's like, but it's a great guy. It's like all over the place. It's like there's
it's an organization made up of insane people. I mean, it's people who are compulsively wanting to do drugs and drink who aren't doing drugs and drinking. So naturally, they're fucking insane. And then you got to pick one of these people that you're like, which one of these lunatics do I want to lead me through trying to steer our lunacy into sanity? That's not easy to find.
No, it's like the F, Marry, Kill of. I mean, I get it.
It is. Oh, it very much is. That's actually that's a great way of thinking.
I get it. I get you. It's like when people go, "Who was worse, Nero or Caligula?" And you're just like, it's just. I get you.
But Dave, you haven't aged since so you're doing something right.
What was that again?
You haven't aged since I've known you, so you're doing something right.
I don't know about that. I mean, I thank you for the compliment, but I mean, I got
42 as long as I've known you.
That's the best way. Thank you. I've looked 44 since I was 34. That's good thinking. So thanks to my parents for donating also as well. Want to thank them.
Oh, and also thank you, Melanie. We really appreciate it, sweetie. You're always you're awesome.
Also, I think this is Kristen, our friend Kristen, who also she moved. Our friend Kristen, who joins the show from time to time. She now lives in in one of the Dakotas or some shit like that. I think. Where she was one of our guests a while back when she was still out here in her car. So. And she's doing well where she's at. So just want to welcome her back. All right. Okay, so we got goals out of the way. And now some fun stuff. Let's, because I think pretty much most of this group is kind of on the same page in this regard. Because I've actually seen I've been surprised at who I've learned in my, in my previous friend circles who really was like for this dude and stuff. But we basically had, I guess, what did you enjoy more this past week? The Trump, the failed insurrection and the fallout from that, or finding out that the NRA declared bankruptcy? That you're not going to get their money from their cold dead hands because they don't have any. So I guess it's kind of hard to figure out what did you enjoy more? So I guess whoever wants to throw out their answer.
I want to go with Gabby first because I like her background the best.
Sausage.
Go ahead with your sausage talk.
Great. I just found out about the bankruptcy just now. I can't answer this question. I think it's horrible what happened. I think that they should be, don't get me wrong. I like that their own law is kicking them in the ass because if you rebelled against a federal office, then you're going to get 10 years. So sure, that's nice. Also, like the outfits. I love a good Viking getup. Come on. Way to get me going for the wrong side. I don't know. I was really shocked by the whole thing. I'm going to say this. There's been a lot of really fucked up things that's happened. The 2008 stealing of $17 trillion, I believe, from the American people. Not 9/11, but weapons of mass destruction and George Bush stealing the election. Totally. If somebody would have stormed the castle for those, I would have gotten it. Storming the castle for lies is misplaced anger, I think. But I also just can't imagine what it feels like to believe lies that strongly. Pass.
Nice job. No, I was getting no pass. That was a good answer.
Good.
Uh,
That was good.
what DNA? What
DNA, what are your thoughts? Good background, man. Good background.
Thank you. I'll try to condense this into a minute or two. So, I mean, I was glued to the internet for the Georgia race. Remember the Georgia thing? And then
Yeah,
it was
totally.
like, you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? The next morning you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, we won. You know, the House, the Senate, the Congress is going to be great. Biden's going to be able to, do so much more. And then boom, the insurrection, and then the impeachment. It's just been so jam packed. But I want to bring your attention to some of the things that the GOP said. They're like the Russia hoax, this another hoax, this impeachment. Look, back before the Trump administration was a thing, Paul Manafort was a shill for Putin. He worked for him for decades. Okay. The FBI was watching this guy because he was a double agent. Okay. 8 intelligence agencies went, I didn't even know there were 8 of them, went to the fomenting Trump campaign and said, hey, watch out for this Manafort guy. He's got ties to Russia. Obama went to Trump, said, watch out for Manafort. What did they do? They made him campaign manager.
Yeah.
And that's why the FBI was investigating the Trump campaign in the very beginning, because they hired a Russian agent to be their campaign. It's all there. What blows my mind is these QAnon guys who have been misled by design, who love conspiracy like Nicolas Cage and National Treasure or the Da Vinci Code or something. They want to figure out the mystery. Oh my God, there's a great mystery to figure out right now. Like why, who's behind the insurrection? Which part of the GOP gave maps to Nancy Pelosi's office to these yahoos? And in the center of the insurrection, who were those paramilitary guys with their hands on each other's shoulder, leading their way to the Capitol and starting it, And around them, yeah, you have these like Manchurian Candidate, diehard, frothing Trump fans who got caught up in the frenzy. And beyond that, you got the people who just love a good party. And they're like, yeah, storm the Capitol, dude. We're totally there. It's going to be great. So it's so interesting, and there's so much to dissect and look at. And I hope a lot of these QAnon guys go to it. And one more thing I just want to say, because I just realized this today. We had a comedy show at the lab with Sam Tripoli. Gabby, do you know Sam Tripoli? He has the Tinfoil Hat podcast. He's like, he's in with Joe Rogan and those guys. Anyway. But I didn't realize it was a QAnon meeting. Now that I look back on it, and Tripoli told me, he goes, yeah, my career was, but then I started talking, against, about Obama, and Tom Hanks is a pedophile or whatever. And people started coming to my shows. And I was now looking back on it, I'm like, oh, that was a QAnon meeting. I didn't know I hosted that.
Wow.
It's really vague.
That's
with
how they get you.
It's always vague with those Rogan dudes.
They're like, it's a joke, and you're like, but I really think that
you don't care as long as people pay the ticket price. I think that's I mean, just like you suggested, like it's like, yeah, I got people coming to the shows because all I do is talk this nonsense. And it was the same thing. There's a guy in Modesto that got pretty known from any of the Modesto comics, if you know them. He went by the name Solo Bass Jake, and he was kind of a staple at the comedy shows out there. And he went nuts after like a breakup or whatever, and basically became a flat earther, hardcore flat earther. And he ended up making a bunch of videos under the name Flat Earth Asshole. And his videos got pretty popular and all that. And then he ended up finding out through all of his due diligence that the flat earth movement was led by some hucksters. And he had this crying photo where, he had this photo a selfie of him crying with a long post about finding out this truth. And I saved that shit because, guess what? He's one of the dudes that's, he's not a QAnon guy, but he straddles that line. He's more of a COVID denier, and he's been at those events in Sacramento, and he's got like a YouTube video of that shit. And so he was going off recently or whatever. And I think he unfriended me because he knows I don't care for him or whatever, but I don't interact with them because I like to watch his bullshit. I don't want to be blocked by him. So when some people were having a debate with them, I shot them my screenshots of that crying photo and that admission that flat Earth was a hoax, and they were so overjoyed. That's my intelligence. I'm the CIA of the local comedy scene.
You're really busting it up.
Yeah, man, just having fun.
That's like Scientology was actually L. Ron Hubbard, who he was friends with the guy who started Church of the Subgenius, and he actually in Church of the Subgenius, it was a joke. It was a book. They made a fake religion, and he was friends with them in college, and he said to L. Ron Hubbard, wouldn't it be, the best way to make money is to either promise somebody money, promise them to lose weight, or give them religion. And so they made up a religion, and L. Ron Hubbard made one up too, and they both made one up, and it was a big joke around the college campus, and then it became Scientology. And so I'm just saying, like, that kind of
is a lie. I mean, I have no problem. I mean, they made good money with it too.
As George Costanza says, it's not a lie if you believe it.
Damn right.
It's faith. That's what it is. It's faith.
Yeah, it's faith if you believe it.
It's faith. And I would like to go back to the fact that now my new DNA favorite quote is drugs were better than religion. And if we can get that on a bunch of bumper stickers, that would be amazing.
I think a good portion of this audience agrees.
It's, I mean, that
the ones that don't do drugs in this audience kick it with people that did. So,
or enjoyed it when you did. And then we're like,
or drinking. Yeah. Yes, Deneen likes the.
It's not like you didn't
alcohol.
enjoy it, or you probably wouldn't have kept going. You know what I mean? So
I've never done religion till 3 a.m. and felt good the next day.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, no. You've never been in, obviously you've never been in Catholic school. So, that was good.
Is that a euphemism? I mean, never mind. I'm not gonna ask.
That was fun. Let's get to the next thing, Dave. That was fun.
All right. By the way, I personally enjoyed everything. The insurrection. I don't even want to call it insurrection. I would rather call it failed erection. As opposed to it, because it did, yeah.
It's funny when you flip back and forth channels like I do, and you go from the far left news to the far right news. It's great because on one it's like the insurrection, and then you flip to the other one, it's like the heartfelt protest, and I'm like, wow, okay, two sides of the same coin. That's interesting.
But isn't it more like you flip through 25 channels that say insurrection, and then you find one channel that's like, oh, those poor protesters.
It's good because you go from CNN to, it's called OANN, OANN, and it's which is it's like it's like even worse than Fox. It's like crazy conservative. So I flip between the two because it's super fun to see them like, and we can't believe that this monster is in the White House. And then you flip to the conservative one, and they're like, this poor guy, everyone's just turned against him, and you're just like, wow, okay. And a lot of it's just me trying to understand my relatives, which is
good. Yeah, you gotta know your enemy.
Oh my God, I love them, but come on, guys.
More positivity, though, even though as positive as that is, and that is, this is something I guess kind of back to recovery based, somewhat thinking. Where the fuck is my background for this? Oh, here we go. And that is. In recovery, we make a gratitude list from time to time to try and remind ourselves what, just what do we have to live for. So I guess if you feel like making one, what would you if you had a gun to your head? Somebody puts a gun to your head and like, what are you grateful for? Like right now, which I don't know if to be grateful for such force, but.
Let's start with Gabby. Gabby, what you grateful for? Hey, girl, what you grateful for?
Look at her background.
I love it.
How can you be grateful with his giant arms around you? I'm grateful it's about to be spring. Fuck winter. Is that too simple?
No, Don't worry, it's already about to. They already got a fire alert for Monday down in I think Deneen's
Oh, let's
area.
get back into it. Let me
Yeah,
toast
oh yeah,
my
the weather's
hands by the
already got fire.
eternal fire of California. I'm grateful for it being sunny. I'm grateful for a game of motherfucking Thrones. You know what? I'm gonna say it too. She should have burned down King's Landing. You can quote me on it. You can quote me on it. I'm glad at the end she burns that shit to the ground.
You are controversial, girl. Damn.
Hot takes.
Damn.
Trying to make these arms look like they're mine.
Damn.
All
Damn.
right.
DNA, what are you grateful for?
I got a couple of things I want to say. Mrs. Mean Dave. No, that's not right. That would mean it's your
Mean
your
mom.
wife.
People
Mean
call her
mom.
mean mom.
You know, I'm very thankful for Mean Dave in my life. You know, he's a guy that we met long before he got into recovery, and I remember so many of our conversations and getting to know him. And he was a guy, even during that time, a guy who always showed up early to every show.
Had nowhere else to go.
never really complained about it, was always gracious the entire time. And then as our friendship developed, you know, became a guy that I kind of counted on to give me perspective sometimes. You know, if some stuff was going on that was janky, you know, I talked to Dave about it. And Gabby is one of the Bay Area comedians who, you know, some people like sports, I like comedy. I follow comedians, you know. When I found out Gabby was not only a comic, but also in the Satan Sisters, that just upped her real estate with me, man. I already loved her, but I was just like, wow, it's so great to see people's talent kind of blossom, you know? And so, and then Eerie, you know, we just started working together, kind of, you know, we hadn't done a lot together as we were developing that relationship, you know, and I'm thankful for so many of the people that I met that enriched my life and helped me be a better person. And, you know, it's just, I don't want to go the opposite direction, but it's like, you know, it's just so, that's a really hard part of right now. I think, you know, that's why I appreciate, you know, being invited to this show, is we have, even if it's Zoom, even if it's the internet, we get a chance to kind of reconnect, see faces, say hi. And what was the last thing grateful for? Oh yeah, I wanted to say, I do 2 shows a week since the first week of Quar, and we do a open mic magic puppet show on Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. Why not? And then on Thursdays, we do sloth storytelling. And then this Thursday, I have L. Ron Hubbard's great grandson, Jamie DeWolf, is going to be on sloth telling a story.
That sounds awesome.
That's all right. I brought it full circle. There we go.
I love it.
It all begins and ends with Scientology.
If you ever have a Thursday night off, you've had an open invitation for the show and tell. G and my show and tell on Zoom.
It's hard. Well, you and Eerie know it's hard to run a show and to count on other people to be there. And I'm still trying to figure out how to make that happen so I can leave and have the show continue.
Word. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm grateful for how nice DNA's beard has gotten.
It is looking good.
Really, like not a single hair out of place.
We've had a resident.
Honestly, it's not easy to go, but to like have a longer beard that looks nice. Usually they start looking like you're an old pirate or something, and that looks beautifully done. It's shaped well. Yeah. I mean,
well, it's not. It is what it is. I have a guy that I used to go to downtown Santa Cruz, but you know, now it is what it is.
It seems like you have a whole team.
Very impressive.
We had one of our regulars here was holding down the beard front. My buddy Jason over here for the longest time. He recently trimmed it up.
Started to show off his sexy neck, huh, Jason?
Wow.
Show off that sexy neck, baby.
Yeah, my stepdad called your beard a cross between ZZ Top and Joe Thornton of the San Jose Sharks.
Interesting.
So yeah, he's got pretty. Or now, is he on the Maple Leafs now? Did he get traded? Oh, he got traded. Oh, well, good for him. All right.
Dave, what are you grateful for?
Yeah, you know, I'm good.
Okay, that was cool.
Yeah, my gratitude's just you know, I pretty much I'm grateful for the show, grateful for things to do, grateful for a roof over my head, grateful to be able to pay bills and get groceries, grateful for, you know, my family, my friends, uh, you know,
I
all that kind of stuff.
I think that's amazing. Oh, you know what I am grateful for, and I am going to say this. If you're a little bit older, I don't know, Gabby, you look pretty fucking young, but if you're a little bit older, you're grateful that this fucking lockdown is happening now. Because if this was happening in 1995, we'd be fucked beyond fucked. Because like there was no Instacart, there was no fucking DoorDash. The only thing you could get to your house was Chinese and pizza, and that was it. And that
I'll say this though, we probably would have listened a little bit. I think it would have been easier to get people to wear masks and put the fear of God in them about a pandemic though, because
you got a letter in the mail. It's like stay inside.
It was because that's the thing is I think I mean the internet is basic with the biggest thing. I think the clusterfuck of all of this stuff. There's so much information out there. You can pick and choose what you know basically feeds your perspective. You can believe anything you want and find something on the internet that makes you feel like you have backup. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is.
I'm just saying, if I'm just saying that if you had to be locked down in the time of MySpace, like wouldn't you have all fucking killed each other? Like, you know what I mean? Like it would have just been right. Am I right here? Like you have so much, you know, you can get on the internet and you can watch fucking Netflix. What? You know what I mean? And like there's so much. It's like if we had been locked down during that time, I was living in a fucking flat on Haight with 5 other people. Like I would have fucking killed everybody in the building. Like I'm just so, if we're gonna
how much was your rent?
That we're doing it in this time, because I don't know what would have happened if I couldn't have done it in this time. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Melanie messaged me. Remember Yahoo
for you, Dave. Thank you for doing this podcast with me.
Thank you, and as well to you, because no, that's again the fact is one of the things that I before I go to bed, I always you know I thank my higher power for another day clean. That's really my measure of every day. And it's funny because like I've had a lot of people hit me up during this pandemic trying to seek help for drug and alcohol problems from the comedy world, from my non-comedy world and all that. And it's you know, and I've met people that have gotten clean and sober during this time. And I'm like, marvel at that shit, because I'm like, I can't imagine this. But what I'm grateful for is that also through all of this stuff, that's like the last thing on my mind. You know, this was the kind of living that I was, you know, when I used to live by myself. I would have said if the pandemic happened during my time, you know, when I was living in my apartment by myself, doing cocaine and Jim Beam all the time, I would have been happy. I would have probably been just as happy then. It would have had every excuse to not go see people and do all that shit. And I would have just want to make sure that my drug connect was cool with me meeting, you know, during pandemic times.
Yeah, but you would have run out of money. That's the problem.
I did in 2010. That's why I moved back to my parents' house then. That's when I.
Oh, I'm so glad you're doing better, especially poor me, mom.
No, and so everything. No, I'm just saying it's. I mean, that's when I started comedy too. I thought that was a fucking solution, which then it was in the long run, but not. You know, and it's still an ongoing question, if you will. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, just you know, I'm grateful just the fact that I don't have to solve my problems with alcohol and I don't judge anybody who I don't think, you know, people can get high, people can drink, you know, enjoy yourselves. Just try to take care of yourselves. That's all. And most people, you know, that's the line that I find. It's like, if you can have one and say I'm good, you know, that's, you know.
I do want to mention on the chat, we've had some great, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys have been off the hook in the chat.
Yeah, it's awesome. I just want to like thank you, Mean Mom. I didn't know they called you Mean Mom. That's what I'm calling you now. Mean Mom, who thanked us for giving them a place to go and feel connected to us, to everybody. And Deneen saying she loves the show in the audience. And then saying that Dave looks like he has horns. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, it's the arms. Yeah, the arms look like horns.
Melanie, just saying that, it's so nice to have a place to see people so nice to see people go through their own journey. I mean, so I think it's really cool to also just talk, to acknowledge all of our peeps that are talking to us while we're talking. And I just love you guys. So there you go.
Very warm feeling. So now last word.
I feel so good. It started, I was in a shitty mood and Grimes and
now that's the point of the show, Eerie. So do we have any last words from our guests here? Gabby, any last words or thoughts?
That makes it sound so scary when you say it like that.
I know, that's why I put the funeral background.
Oh God.
I want to say to Dave's parents that he sent me a picture of your kitchen and your cupboards are exquisite.
I told them that. Yeah. No, they remember. We were there, and I said my friend Gabby loves your kitchen.
It makes me horny for retirement.
I was gonna say, when you say she loves your kitchen, it just sounds dirty to me. I don't know. Is there something wrong with me?
Yeah, no, it sounds great.
Baby, I love your kitchen. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I like a nice kitchen set. Namaste.
That's what I'm gonna start calling it, by the way.
Also Dave's cool too, but that kitchen set.
She's only my friend for your kitchen, Mom. Yeah. All right. DNA. Any last words?
Yeah. I got last words.
That giggle.
Here's my. So there's this theory. It's called the panspermia theory. You guys know that one? Anybody? Panspermia theory is that DNA traveled on meteorites throughout the universe and would land in a planet, and hopefully the primordial soup had the right amino acids to decode the DNA, and that's how life started on this planet. And that's a theory. And the question it begs, where did it come from? Where did the DNA originally originate from that traveled through the universe? And my thing, I always thought that was kind of that whoever sent it, they were kind of the farmers of the universe. They were the people who are planting seeds across the galaxies, see what takes. And it takes a long time for the farmer to come back. But I believe, now, I don't know if I believe this, but it is my last word. I believe that the farmers are coming back. I think that this virus, this pandemic is happening to see which one of us will do well in deep space. Like, if you can't handle quarantine now, you're not going to make it on a spaceship for 30 years.
Good point.
True. That's true.
Yeah, I like that.
That is an excellent, bizarre point.
I also want to
couple weeks.
I want to thank the chat for coining the phrase "Mean Mom's Horny Kitchen."
Yeah,
that was.
We're gonna get some T-shirts made.
Yeah, that one's never gonna leave my brain. All right.
Hey.
Well, that has been our show, everybody. Thank you very much for being here and for making this one just another kick-ass show. It's never, we say it's another terrible podcast by comics, but we've gotten we're another consistently not so terrible podcast these days. This is all thanks to you guys.
Just didn't want to raise anybody's hopes.
Yeah, exactly. Keep those expectations low, everybody, and just keep coming back, just like we do in recovery.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Good to see everybody.
Play the music now.
Hi, Gabby.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mean Dave. Thank you so much, Gabby. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Thanks for all of you guys for coming and hanging out with us. We love you guys so much. And this is actually, I'm feeling very hopeful, and that's very good. Mean Dave, thanks again for doing this podcast with me. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Bye.
Peace.